me tell you something that might actually piss you off a little. Your problem is not that you are not talented. Your problem is not that you are unlucky. Your problem is not that the world is against you in any way, because the world isn't against you. The world is not your problem. The things happening around you are not your biggest problem. Your problem is that you keep stopping. You keep stopping. You keep waiting for motivation. You keep waiting for someone to motivate you, for the next motivational content you see out there. You keep waiting to feel ready before you pursue your goals as you should. You keep waiting for signs, and while you are waiting, somebody that is less talented than you is outworking you purely because they didn't stop. And that is the brutal truth that a lot of people don't like to hear. And if this makes you uncomfortable, that is very good, because discomfort is usually the moment before somebody transforms, before somebody reaches their potential, before somebody becomes the person that they are supposed to be, that God put them on earth to be, before somebody, reaches and achieves everything that is in front of them that they were supposed to achieve. Hi, my name is Blossom, and I'm here to make sure that you never settle for a life that is less than the life that you deserve. And today we're going to be talking about something that people love to downplay because it is not easy, it is not sexy, it's not aesthetic, and it doesn't sell fantasy like most motivation does, and that is consistency. I'm not talking about motivation or vibes or when you guys soft launch your dreams on the internet. I'm talking about actual consistency. And if you are in your 20s, if you are trying to level up, if you're trying to become the highest and the best version of yourself, this video might be one of the most important videos that you watch this year. This one is for the girlies who are tired of starting over, who are tired of always starting something and stopping because they do not have the heart, the effort, the strength to push through, to continue on that journey when they know that they should. That leads me to chapter 1. Let us cue the myth right now. Nobody just blows up. Nobody just blows up out of nowhere. Nobody just has an overnight success out of nowhere. Nobody just wakes up on a random Tuesday and suddenly becomes successful, rich, skilled, or unstoppable. Nobody does that. What you see as an overnight success is usually years of boring consistency that nobody was clapping for. Consistency is why people get their next big break. Consistency is why opportunities start chasing you instead of the other way around. Consistency is why your name starts ringing in rooms that you've never even entered. That is what consistency does for you, because there's actual research that backs this up. Psychologists and people who have researched on this thing and have been known for their work on expertise and skill acquisition showed that repeated deliberate practice of something over time is what separates high performers from average ones, not talent alone. In simple terms, this means that the person who shows up most often wins. Consistency is not loud, consistency is not glamorous, consistency is quiet. But consistency changes lives. Consistency changes the game for people. Consistency is the reason why people are never going to be poor again in their lives. Consistency is the reason why some people are always going to be rich forever. That leads me to chapter 2, and this is the part that nobody tells you. Consistency doesn't just change your results, it changes your identity. When you show up every day, even badly, you stop to see yourself as someone who just tried. Start to see yourself as somebody who does, not just tries, but does. Consistency will make you a professional. Consistency will make you skilled. Consistency will separate you from the average crowd who only works when they feel inspired. And the gag is that most people never reach their potential, not because they can't, but because they don't stay long enough to find out what they could have become, what they are capable of, what they could win, what they could become in this lifetime, their potential, how far they can go. Consistency is literally you telling life, I am serious about myself. Let's go to chapter 3. Let me free you from perfection real quick. You do not need to give 100% every single day. You don't need that. Some days you give 100%, some days you give 50%, some days you give 20%. Some days all you have is 10%, and you need to give that. That's literally what consistency is. That still counts on the days when you even have just 5%, because consistency is not about intensity. Consistency is about continuity. How often do you show up for yourself? Do you just start something? Do you just stop it? Do you just start something? Do you just stop it? Studies on habit formation, like those popularized by James Clear and others, show that small, registered, and repeated actions compound massively over time. That 1% better every day is what eventually adds up to give success. Little drops of water become an ocean. Little efforts become mastery. Little steps become destiny. So you're literally deceiving yourself if you are not working hard to win. Let's go to chapter 4. And let me be very blunt. I have been blunt, but let me continue being blunt. Most people quit. Most people get tired. Most people get distracted. Most people stop when it doesn't make sense anymore. You know, and I feel like that is where you win. You don't stop. If you stay consistent for even 1 month, you already separate yourself from the crowd, because a lot of people can't stay consistent for 1 month. 3 months, you're already dangerous. 6 months, you're undeniable. A year, you're literally unrecognizable. People don't know who they're talking to anymore. Consistency will put you ahead of people who are more privileged, more connected, and sometimes even more gifted than you. Consistency will put you ahead of them, because talent without consistency is just wasted potential. It's literally just you wasting your potential. You can be as talented as you want, but if you do not have the consistency to back it up, you are going to lose. And that leads us to chapter 5. This is where consistency really shows who you are. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? When nobody is watching you, who are you? When nobody is happening, when nothing is happening, who are you? When your results are silent, who are you? When you're wondering if this is even worth it, who are you? That is the real test. Every successful person you admire passed through a phase where it felt, pointless. Everything felt pointless. But it just didn't stop. They kept going. Consistency is the door. Consistency is the key. Consistency is the way forward. Consistency is the only way that you're going to win. And you need to be very serious about how consistent you are, how often you show up for yourself, and how much you show for yourself. You cannot say that you want something and you're not consistently showing up for yourself. And that leads us to the step-by-step process to become the highest and best version of yourself. Let us make this practical. No more talk, 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 talk. Let's go straight into it. The first step is that you should pick one thing that moves your life forward every single day, not 10, just one. You can start from here. The second step is to decide the smallest version of that thing that you can do daily. So small that you can't make excuses. When I want to do a large task, like I always say, I break it down into the tiniest bit so I can get it done. The third step is to show up every day, no matter how badly you show up. Messy consistency beats perfect inconsistency. The fourth step is to stop negotiating with your future. You don't need permission to become better. You don't need permission from yourself, from anybody, to become better. Simply be consistent and show up for yourself. The fifth step is to trust compound growth. What you repeat is what you will become. Simple. That is how you build confidence. That is how you build skill. That is how you build a life that you are proud of. And that is all that matters. That is literally all that matters. Making sure that every day you're building something, you're getting closer to your goal. 1% closer every single day. Consistency will change your life. Consistency will change who you are. Consistency will move your destiny. Yes, it is that serious. You don't need magic. You don't need abracadabra. You don't need luck. You don't need to be special to win. You just need consistency. You need to keep showing up for yourself every day, to keep showing up and reminding the world that you want this and you want it bad. And nobody has told you lately, I know this, but I want to tell you right now, I believe in you. But more importantly, you need to start believing in the power of staying, of showing up again and again and again and again and again, because you have absolutely got this. That dream they're looking and is looking so far away, they're looking at and is looking so far away, you can achieve it.